ride through the historical Stone Mountain, which most individuals don't even take this way. Y'all see that to my left? They want people to believe that that's a stone mountain, and it's not. It's a pyramid. It's a pyramid. All right, it was an ancient pyramid. And when you thinking about pyramids, you think about a pyramid shape, but this supposedly stone mountain does have a pyramid-like shape if you really look at it. It's just missing the top because they cut the top off. All right? Literally, when you riding through here, which most people never do, you are riding through you are riding through here, you are riding through pure magic. This is what you're looking at right now. This place, anciently, pre-1492, pre-colonialization, was a huge science lab. Okay? This Stone Mountain was a huge science lab. You have to remember, all right? Atlanta is the 33rd parallel. Okay? Atlanta sits on the 33rd parallel. That is very important. All right? Look up longitude and latitude. That comes from the elements of fire, earth, air, water. The elements, right? The elites, after capturing this planet, renamed these elements north, east, south, and west to redirect the attention away from what they mean to the planet. All right. So yeah, this is Stone Mountain Park. This is what it costs to get in here. I actually have a yearly pass because like I say, I'm big on history. I like to come and take things in. So, you see that sign right there? You know, it say the citizens of Georgia welcome you to their park. All right. I want everybody, this the homework. I want everybody that's watching this video, that rented this video, bought this video, I want you to go Google who Georgia was and look up the etymology of the word Georgia so we can find out who she really was. All right. Very negative entity, but remember, Atlanta is located on the 33rd parallel. So, by it being located on the 33rd parallel, what that basically means is that this was the capital of Atlantis, okay? You have the pyramids of Egypt. They are located on the 33rd parallel also. Pyramids in Egypt, they are located on the 33rd parallel. Go research this, all right? Learn the terrain and learn what everything means, all right? Look at them, they ride through now and use it to do their bicycle and stuff like that, you know, practice, and that's cool too. Nothing's wrong with that, but I feel like this park should be named what it really was, you know what I'm saying? And tell the people the truth about their location, okay? Atlanta sits on the 33rd parallel along with other major cities like Dallas, Texas, Little Rock, Arkansas, Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Los Angeles, California. These are all 33rd parallel cities, and these are all very important energy. Atlanta being the most important one because it sits dead in the center of the planet, of the realm, I should say. They not telling anybody this. They got everybody thinking that Africa is the center of the but it's not. Atlanta is the center of the planet. Where Atlanta is located, Atlanta, Georgia is the center of the planet. You know. All right, this is why they set they Black Hollywood up on it. All right, this is why it's so important. And then the other cities that are located along the parallels, you know, these are the veins, because you have to understand that the planet was made in our shape. That's why the trees, if you look at the branches on the trees, they mimic the way, you know, arteries and veins look on the heart. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the heart and look at the veins in it, it looks just like a tree with its branches, because everything in the planet we designed in our image. This is why the universe itself is the shape, the design you see on your fingerprint. That's the design of the universe. And that design is divine, and it can always change at any given time based upon our thoughts, because we are the ancient creators. Okay? So this is why they require our belief in their lies so much, for their lies to formulate our reality. They don't manifest their reality. We manifest their reality by believing in their lies. Alright? So once you understand that this realm, the entire realm, this includes all the continents, it's called Atlantis, then you get a full understanding that the center of Atlantis, the capital, is Atlanta. And that's why they call it Atlanta, Georgia. And this is why they named the ocean that's next to it, that body of water, I should say, they named it the Atlantic Ocean. Alright? So, now, understanding that this was headquarters of the realm down here for the Anunnaki, which is why we named it Planet Kai, then you can understand what Stone Mountain Park really is and why it was so important. You know, this was one of the first things they took over on the planet. Remember, they attacked headquarters first. That attack started right here in present-day modern Atlanta. Okay? You have a lot of major important points on the planet. Detroit is one of them. Chicago is one of them. Detroit is one of them. Chicago is one of them. These are important energetic points on the planet. And if you watch my lecture on Chief Chicago and Illinois, then you understand how important, you know, Detroit and Chicago, St. Louis, and all of those, what they call now Midwestern states, are to the planet. Okay? The Midwest was very important to the realm, rather, I should say, as well. The entire Midwest was very important to the realm. But this here, now what they call a park, was a science lab. And we had a major pyramid, a very strong pyramid, right? Which it still is today, that's set right here, where this, what they call mountain is. It's not a mountain. Alright, and then this is also why, you know, we used it. See, they can't figure out our technology. Even though they took it over this land right here, they can't figure out our technology. So they don't know how to use it. You know, they don't know how to tap into certain things that we have right here in this land. Right here, as we drive through, there's all type of herbs. All right, right here in Stone Mountain Park that will heal you. It's herbs that will put you back in tune with enchantment and the magical abilities tapped and locked inside your DA. All right. Like where we riding through right now, most people don't ride through here. You see a few people right now walking through here or riding their bikes. Most people, when they come to Stone Mountain Park, they go watch the laser show. That's all the way in the front. You know, they don't even promote back here. They don't promote this back here and tell people about, you know, you can kind of come through the actual land of Stone Mountain. Because you got to remember, like, why is it even called Stone Mountain? General Robert E. Lee of the Confederate Army, all right, this is where the KKK was birthed at, right here, in these woods. Atop of that, what they now call mountain, but it's really a pyramid. They cut the top off. All right, which they still have the top, because it was very important to our galactic travel. This is why they cut it off. And once it lost, it's everything. We were connected to pyramids. So when they attacked us from the inside out, using our Merkaba against us, all right, everything kind of like stoned and froze in time. You know, because time was another spell that they used on the planet, sort of an attack, an illusion, you know, by an advanced group of extraterrestrials, the Arcturian race, and they had help as well. Because not all the Arcturians are bad, you know, it's duality in all things. So this place right here is very, very important. All right, to a lot of the things they do, you know, a lot of the magic that they're using, but they're using it for wickedness. So they're being witches and warlocks. You see, they're not using our technology, if you want to call it magic. It's really just our ancient technology. They're not using it for good, so they don't know how to use it, and things are not working or never worked the way they quite needed them to. So what they did was they blocked this off and they let people still walk through here. But guess what? They got the police out here, and the police is not out here to stop no violence. The police out here to make sure that your ass ain't going deep in the woods, getting in tune with some shit. You see what I'm saying? They really want you to stay like I say, stay your ass in the front. You feel me? Stay your ass in the front, you know what I'm saying, where the lasers is at, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people in Atlanta that don't even know about this. There's a lot of people that do, but I met a lot of people down here that's from here that they don't even know, you know what I'm saying, about. They don't ride through here. If they do come to the mountain, because people don't come to the mountain, motherfuckers go to the club. So if they do go and try to tap into nature, anywho, unless they people that work out, like I say, people that work out, they know about back here, they come back here, work out, jog, ride bikes, you know what I'm saying? Some people know they got their kids back here. But listen, more people should know. You know what I'm saying? Not enough people know. Enough people won't even walk up that damn mountain. I didn't walk up the mountain. Most people that come here when they visit this park, they come and just, especially tourists, you know what I'm saying? They'll come and ride the shuttle up top the mountain. It's more popular to do that, you see what I'm saying? Because they give you like an elevator, give you a nice little view. But then, you know, most of them ain't gonna come really like climb the mountain and see what this is, you know what I'm saying? And really get a feel for what you dealing with. It's a lot of powerful energy right in here. This is why you can come out here. Anybody do come out here, you come out here one way and you leave feeling good. You leave feeling good, man, because the energy, you know what I'm saying? And guess what? Our people would feel it more if we got out here and, you know, didn't let our feet hit the soil. You see this water? Water all through here, because the water gonna always tell you the true story of what was going on. You think this water was originally brown? No, it wasn't. All the water we got on this planet was like as clear as you would see in the Caribbean when you go to, you know, Turks and Caicos or Barbados or Bermuda or any of that. It was clearer than that. You know, the planet has been poisoned, put under spells, and this is why she's in full retrograde now, and everything is going like it's going. You know, they killed a lot of our people to get this land. You see what I'm saying? This was a science lab. You feel me? Like, even now, like, look how they look at me. They riding past on bikes. They're like, damn, we trying to practice here in the way. We practicing for the Olympics and some shit. Nigga, this our shit though. You feel me? It's our shit though. You know, that y'all took in cold blood. You know what I'm saying? And right now the government, they have underground bases under this mountain, doing all type of studying and all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they been doing it. You know what I'm saying? And if you look into what they telling you on the internet that Stone Mountain material is made out of, it's made out of the same material that the pyramids out up in Egypt and Giza are made out of. Why is that? Because it was all about energy. Everything was high frequency. We was vibrating on a higher plane. So we used that pyramid and other pyramids, right, to conduct energy. We had other pyramids that was made out of they're all different type of crystals. I told y'all that labradites and clear quartz and tourmalines and obsidians and amethysts and red jasper and, you know, tigers. I like all these names are dumbed down names because we have high vibratory names for these things. But these are the dumbed down names they give us now for that we have to use to identify with them, right? But all our pyramids were made out of these high frequencies. Crystals vibrate, they give off energy. All high frequency reflection. You know, our ancestors was doing some of the most amazing things. Some of the most amazing things right here. Some of the most amazing things right here in this so-called, they call it park. We were advancing the entire planet from right here. This was headquarters, and this was the science lab. This was the science lab. Why? Because all these energies that we were using, all right, to build, right, to build up with, is still here, right here in this soil. This is why they had to get it. And they got it, but they don't know what to do with it. It's a lot of our land in places all on the West Coast, high frequency, high energetic places that they know if we come in contact with, just because we have the genetics, the RNA and the DEA, the deoxyribonucleic acid, that we are going to be able to completely transmute the environment with those energies, because that technology comes from us. You know, it's just like Thor's hammer. You know, like Thor can pick that hammer up because he's a god. It was made for him, which Thor is a real being, by the way. He's an Asgardian, but he's not white. You know what I'm saying? He's not a human being. He looks like us. But the Asgardians, they look like us. They are real. They real. Asgard is a real location, right? It's one of the 9 realms on this planet. All right? But this realm is Atlantis. So it's like Thor's hammer. You know what I'm saying? We come out here in nature, we gonna command it naturally. See, they got you in a club, you supposed to be here in nature. Look how that tree sitting in the middle of that ward. Look at that. You know, that stuff our people will never see. And if they do see it, you should be wondering why, how, what's going on. People ain't thinking like that. You know, it's all type of underground bases under here, and they still trying to harness the energy, but they were never able to get it. But when you want to know they harness the energy, you see these light poles? Look at all these light poles. Y'all see these light poles? When they put light poles in the ground, what do you think? They put wood in the ground to pull the energy from the trees. They make synthetic wood. That's what the light poles are made of, synthetic wood. That's not real wood, all right? And then they use the 30 millimeter bushes we now call trees, and they pull the energy. They use the synthetic wood to pull the electricity and the life force out of the trees, out of the 30 millimeter bushes, which still have a lot of life and vitality in them, but it's all in the roots in the ground. So you looking at the surface, you're not understanding the molecular biology of plant life in this planet in itself. So this is what they use in the poles to get. This is where they get all their electricity from, out the ground. All right, that's what a lot of people don't know. So notice how when we ride through, look at all these poles set up, harnessing all this energy that they ain't doing shit with. They ain't doing nothing with it. They just harnessing and draining it, but they don't know what to do with it. They want us not to get it, because if we get it, then we fuck shit up and take shit back. So they come take this land from our ancestors, right, and they turn it to a park. And most of your parks, from Stone Mountain to places on the West Coast or the places overseas, most of your parks are vital areas which they took. And that's why they took over every neighborhood parks, and then they charged us to come in here. Alright? It's a dirty game. Alright, but I wanted y'all to be aware of Stone Mountain Park. Like, they don't talk about it again, but the KKK was way deeper than that. This is our science lab before they ever took it over. And the KKK even got involved. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, man, like, even what we see now, these are mirages. You know, these are mirages. This is all type of stuff that's around us and out here that you can't see, and they're using mirages to show you one thing when it's something totally different around you. This is how deep it get. Alright? This is how deep it get. Like right there, they'll show us a golf course, and that won't even be a golf course. That's something totally different right there. But they know ain't none of y'all ass want to get out there. Ain't nobody want to carbon they sweet for the park to get out there and play with their golf. See, and if they do, they got people over there set up and keep that under control. Look who over there playing golf. See, all the time. Let me see how they just they land they roll and make sure that people make it to golf course. This is all because of everything that goes on there. Testing shit, all type of shit. They making human hybrids with animals, all type of shit. Alright? Look, they at the top of the mountain. Look at all the beams, the electrical beams. Look at that. You know what I'm saying? Harnessing energy. You feel me? This was a science lab. know what I'm saying? Harness the energy. Look at the beams. Look at the beams. Y'all see them beams? Look at that on top. In the top part, they removed. The top part, they removed. You know? But, you know, they'll call this Stone Mountain and say it was named after General Lee Stone and leave it at that. Nobody, okay, what was it before they took it over? You see what I'm saying? You know, before it was called Stone Mountain, what was it? These are the questions that you should always ask when you hearing their version of history. Ask, okay, now I know what y'all saying this will happen when y'all got there, but what was going on before y'all got there? Because y'all had to know y'all got there first, so what happened? They never tell you that, you know what I'm saying? They just tell you, you know, what happened from the moment they got there, like they don't know some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? So, you know, and then even Atlanta itself, you know, major hub, and the one thing they could never do is move that strong presence out of Atlanta. That's why to this day, Atlanta is always full of apartment buildings. All right, but outside of the outskirts, they'll always be very, very racist and very strong. You feel me? With the racism because of Georgia, and that's why they even named the area Georgia. Remember, before it was called Georgia, this was called Cherokee land. All right, the Cherokee had the entire state of Georgia. All right, Cherokee had Georgia. Cherokee had Georgia, Alabama, Louisiana, and Mississippi. That's why they wanted them to move across the Mississippi to Indian Territory, which was supposed to be in Oklahoma. That's how we ended up with Black Wall Street, because you had all them black people who they want you to believe were Indians, which Indians never existed. We are the Indians. All those black people who they made walk the Trail of Tears, they ended up, the ones that survived, they ended up in Oklahoma, because that's where they was marching to, Indian Territory. We were leaving out of Stone Mountain Park. But Anunnaki Science Lab, that's what this motherfucker should be called. You feel me? Anunnaki Science Lab. You know what I'm saying? Memorial or some shit. You feel me? Like, but look, they got the face of all those Confederates, those races that killed our people to take the land. They got their face on the mountain and been on the mountain still to this day. You feel me? Like, it don't get no more gangster than that. How y'all gonna say we changed America, but down here in Atlanta, it ain't no racism. But down here in Atlanta, nigga, y'all literally got the faces of the Confederates on the side of the mountain, and there's people still down here waving their Confederate flag. You don't feel like that should be against the law? But yeah, you still got people down here in Atlanta, right, that wave their Confederate flags. On top of that, you on this mountain where you charging people to get in and visit, and it's our land. We don't get to get in free. We gotta pay. You know what I'm saying? Why can't every carbonated being get in there free then if y'all say it's freedom? Y'all could balance the energy in all type of ways. Y'all won't even let a nigga in the park free that y'all took from it. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all want us to believe it's some change or it's been some change. You know what I'm saying? That's why we in the end game now. You feel me? And then not just this part, like I say, all over America, all over the planet. You know what I'm saying? All over the realm, I should say. You feel me? Like, you know, these are the things that I want you to look at and think about. You know, every important place. Look, listen, all your churches, all your parks, all your so-called tourist destinations are all built over monumental, astrological, very important places to our energy field and what we do as non-ether beings. And it plays a big role in how they're able to control our emotions and our thoughts and put us under this spell. You see what I'm saying? Atlanta and LA and Egypt, where the pyramids is at over there, are major parts of that. You know what I'm saying? Well, they were major parts in that. You feel me? Because yeah, they doing it, but what gives them the power to do it? They draining the power. You see what I'm saying? And people don't understand how important electricity is. If they wasn't, guess what? If they wasn't using all the telephone poles, to drain the electricity out the planet, guess where it would automatically go naturally? Guess where it automatically go naturally, y'all? Into you. You see what I'm saying? But it can't, only so much can go into you when they draining the planet literally of all the fucking energy. You are an ancient being, so the energy gonna come into you. You gave life to the planet, the realms, everything. You created the entire multiverse. You feel me? So these telephone poles and everything we see around us is there to design. Look at it. Look at the lines. They all up in the sky. Look at them. They everywhere you go. They all around you, 24/7. All that metal shit you see, they using to harness energy and control the weather with. That's also how they're able to control the weather, because they're harnessing so much fucking energy out the planet herself. Notice all the poles are connected to what? The ground. You feel me? They understand and they got her like hooked up to, like, imagine your body being hooked up on a machine. They got the planet hooked up on like a machine. You feel me? And the machine is all these little poles and shit that's like latched into her. You feel me? Draining her. Like, it's just like being in the hospital. They put all the they put all the IVs in your arm, and they have 20 IVs in the motherfucker. You feel me? Like, they draining you with fluid and all type of shit from every which angle. That's what they doing to the planet, and that's why she in full retrograde now. That's why we rising now. Kundalini energy. You feel me? But now we know the truth about Stone Mountain Park. Peace to the guys and guys of Planet Cog. Now we rise.